Hello, welcome back to Film River Forum. And once again, my name is Bernard Shibonten in Atlanta, Georgia. If you haven't subscribed, this is the time to subscribe, share with friends and family, and let them know how informative this forum is. We talk about geopolitical issues around the world. We talk about regional. It can be only in Africa. It can be in Asia. It can be Australia. It can be anywhere. We talk about, sometimes I talk about relationship, romantic relationship. I talk about all kind of issues. So if you haven't subscribed, like I started in more of my presentation, this is the time to subscribe, share with friends and family, let them know how informative this particular forum is. And at least, like I said all the time, I don't know everything, you don't know everything, we learn from each other. So when you subscribe, there's chances that there's certain things you may, learn from here, and you can also give me your feedback, and I will know, next time what to do or how to frame my discussion and all kinds. So that is what I ask you to do: share, subscribe, and let them know about this forum. And so I'll be brief and simple, because this particular discussion is about Pope Francis. I know you will say, why are you talking about Pope? Yeah, because Pope said something yesterday that I think is very, very important, very, very significant, that I want to share, and I want to reemphasize or trying to support what Pope Francis said. It's not because he's a Pope, because I'm not a Roman Catholic. It was my father was a strong member of Roman Catholic Church, but I'm not. But it doesn't mean when the Pope or somebody tell the truth or say something very, very important, significant, you don't have to agree with them just because you don't go to his or her church or whatever. So I think it's very, very important. What's the point? So today's discussion will be about Pope Francis regarding what he said yesterday. He was on his way from Kazakhstan. Somewhere is in the northeastern part of Russia. It's very, very close to Russia. I think they say border in the northeast part of, if I'm not mistaken, northeastern part of Russia, Kazakhstan. And so Pope was there for 3 days. They were having a regional religious conference in that region. And on the last day of that trip, on his way from Kazakhstan to Rome on an airplane, journalists accompanying him asked him about his opinion regarding United States and other Western countries supplying all kind of sophisticated arms to Ukraine for them to defend themselves against Russia aggression, Russia invasion of Ukraine. So the journalists want to know what Pope Francis think about United States led, Western nations in supplying all arms to. And so Pope's response was, he thought it was justified. It's the right thing for United States and other countries to supply those arms to Ukraine to defend themselves, self-defense. And so those of you who think United States is all over the place, for me, I said this all the time, without United States, maybe you and me, you guys, people talk about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of this. United States gave contemporary or modern meaning to freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Without United States, think about a country like Russia or China and other countries being in the position of United States. Think about what the world would be. Obviously, most of these countries' behavior, political behavior, will reflect that of those dominant countries like China. So, in the same vein, United States is a democratic, representative, democratic nation. And so, they cherish the concept of free press, freedom of expression, and that. So that is why they support that kind of concept. They want all countries to have the right, people living in all countries around the world, to have the right to free speech, petition their government, and separation of powers, checks and balances. That was United States. So for me, I said it all the time, and I will repeat. It's not because I live in the United States, but it's a fact. I would take United States over any other country, even the country I was born. I was born in Ghana, but if you give me United States and Ghana, I would choose United States first before I choose Ghana. That's a fact. And I think I speak for a lot of people. That's true. So why am I saying all this? United States, no matter what, it's not a perfect country. No country is perfect. And so, yeah, they may have their weaknesses or excesses and everything, but if you compare United States to many countries, it's far better than almost most countries in the world. And so what United States is doing in helping Ukraine to defend themselves, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And so Pope Francis underscored this fact that, yeah, United States is morally justified to supply Ukraine guns and all kind of sophisticated arms to defend themselves. And so that's the response the Pope gave to. And Pope used this justification based on, according to Geneva Convention, they have two types of just war. Like you have a right, every country has a right to go to war on condition that you go into war to defend your territorial integrity, or in other words, your country. If you are minding your own business, you live in your own country within your borders, and you're trying to find a way to help your people, your citizens, make ends meet, have a better life, have dreams, have kids, go to school and enjoy life, and all of a sudden somebody think they're stronger than you, invade your country, what do? You have a right to defend yourself. That is what we call moral or just war. And so that was the argument Pope Francis was making to the journalists, that, yeah, Ukraine has every right to defend themselves because they are not attacking civilian population in Russia. They don't have that capability to do it. They have to defend their country. They just are trying to repair the aggression, Russia invasion into their country. And it's justified. Pope said it right. So Pope's argument was that as long as you're doing that war, you're going to war, a right to war. It's too correct. A right to war. You have a right to go to war to defend yourself. And during that war, if you go to war, your conduct, the conduct of the war, how you behave within that war, in that war you are conducting, if you target civilian population, innocent people, as opposed to attacking military installations, your target should be purely military. You target military. But as long as you're doing that, that's morally justified. That is what we call just war. And so that was Pope's argument. He makes sure that you are getting arms to defend yourself. And then when you are doing that, in the course of defending yourself, you just don't hit anywhere aimlessly. You don't kill everybody in your way. And then while you're conducting the war, make sure that you leave room for dialogue to find a peaceful solution. And I think Pope was 100% right. And so that was what Pope was saying. And I think I agree with the Holy Father 100% that, yeah, United States has every right. United States and other Western nations are doing the right thing for helping Ukraine to defend themselves. And so for all those people who sit there and say, oh, United States all the time, they want to involve themselves in everywhere. Well, without United States, as a beacon of democracy, beacon of freedom of expression, freedom of press, you can be sitting in your country, you want to run your mouth all the time, everything government does, you criticize it. Who gave that support? Almost all countries' constitution, basically, is mimic United States Constitution. Why? Because they give meaning. The so-called Western countries, people talk about them all the time. They gave meaning to Britain, France, Germany, United States. They give meaning to all these concepts: freedom of expression, a free press, checks and balances, all of them. Checks and balances was an idea of a French philosopher who called Montesquieu. And then, so the same thing about the right to have a just government. Government should derive their powers from the governed or from the citizen. It's John Locke. That was also a British. Thomas Hobbes, presidency. That executive president, we have a strong commander-in-chief to be in the hands of affairs. All of them are Westerners. And so when I hear people sitting down and trying to demonize the so-called, talk about Western countries and wherever, if you give me Russia, to choose between Russia and United States, of course I will choose United States. It's not because I live in the United States. It's because that is where hope is. Because I don't want to live in a country where I cannot express myself. I cannot say whatever I want to say without somebody knocking my door in the middle of the night to come and get me and then I will disappear from nowhere in China or wherever. So when people talk, they just talk as if they don't even, excuse me to say, like they don't even have some kind of, I don't know, I just don't want to say it. So that is what it is. So Pope Francis said it, that United States is justified, that they are supplying Ukraine some guns and other sophisticated equipment, war equipment, to defend themselves, to defend their homeland. That's it. He didn't say United States give them arms or guns to go and kill civilian population in Russia. They won't do that. But he said as long as they're doing that to defend themselves, their country, they have every right. And it falls under the Geneva Convention about the conduct of war. So when we talk about the just war that is right, morally right. The war that Ukraine is waging is a moral war. It's a just war. Russia war is unjust because Russia attacked or invaded Ukraine. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe no. It's not justified. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. And if you don't want any country to invade your country for no reason, yes, it's the same way that Russia is not justified in doing. So when Pope Francis said that, Ukraine has every right and the United States is morally justified, I agree with that. So that is what I have for you. Once again, this is Sophian River Forum. Share with friends and family. Let them know how informative this particular forum is. And like I said, I talk about all kind of issues going on around the world. And so today, that's what I have for you. The Holy Father, Pope Francis, is right that United States is justified in many ways in supporting Ukraine to defend themselves. That is what I have for you. And once again, my name is Bernard Esbontin, and have a nice day. I'll talk to you another time. Bye.